Was on the watch list today. We are up 50% from that watch list entry. And what was beautiful about this one is, would you look where it bounced? We're green, baby. We are green this morning. This is how you make money. That's 28% in 3 minutes. I mean, can't get any easier than that, right? Oh, I'm so sorry about that. My mic was muted, guys. Can you guys hear me now? I'm so sorry. Yes, I had a muted mic. Let's get started now. I am so sorry. Let's go. All right, we're starting with the SPY here. You guys can hear now. Thank you. I see all the comments. I was looking at a couple other things and now I noticed. So you guys are good now. Thank you, Pinky. Thank you, Tori Roden. All right, so let's restart here. SPY yesterday, we had not ideal conditions for scalping. Let's be real. We sat in a consolidated about a 1.5 for the whole day, through the whole day, which is just not ideal for scalping unless you're hitting the tops and bottoms perfectly. We sat between about $3.99 and $400.50 most of the day. If you did use those levels I gave you, however, you did get a very, very nice bullish entry power hour a little bit before on that break in that hold of $400. And after that, we did end up coming to 401.50. We didn't get up to our 402.25 type level that we had wanted to get up to, but we did get up to that 402.50. I'm going to delete this box and we will get started here. We gapped up again pre-market, just like yesterday. We are on a bullish little rip the last 3 days. That's the reality, guys. Ever since that low 393, I mean, we're up about $11, 11 points in the last 2 trading sessions, which is pretty substantial, but it's been all swings. It hasn't been nice, clean, bullish movement runs during traded hours. It's been overnight. We did take a couple bullish positions overnight. We've got this 15-minute on. Let's identify some zones for this morning, and we will go from there. Sorry, guys. I just knocked over my phone. All right. So obviously we've got our 404.18. So pre-market, we did actually break over that area I was talking about to watch, but we broke over it overnight. So if you had some bullish swings, you're doing pretty good on those. Couple things. I'm not really sure if you are deciding to hold puts, bearish entries, swings overnight. It doesn't really make too much sense to me. I think you're playing like a lotto position over a market sentiment position at this point. When we do have a day and we do have pure uptrend and we've proven it 2 or 3 days in a row to just purely buy puts because we're going to have weak numbers on mortgage rates, 30-year mortgages, which was yesterday. Or, I think another bank's going to announce they're not doing well. Or whatever it might be, whatever thought process you have that in a clearly uptrend couple days that you just randomly hold SPY puts. That's not, I didn't hold calls either, to be honest, but I think it's just it could be a very touch and go situation to do that. Most of the day we sat stone cold in between this downtrend and this uptrend. Now we're starting to push towards the upper range here. So that's what we're looking at. We've got 404.18 as a relative high of the day, pre-market here. And we've got this line right here, which was an older drawn line at 402.59. That's our major line. And that's where we held support from this wick high a few days ago. That's a substantial level. That's what I'm looking at right now. It is, a good $1.40 from where we're at right now. So a loss of that area, and I do believe we would fill the gap from close yesterday. So that's more or less what I'm looking at as this gap fill if we lose that 402.59. On the bullish side, we need to see that breaking that hold of 404.25 at market open, and then that next leg up to continue up. And then I think this touching this upper trend line is inevitable at that point. I'm not saying we're necessarily going to get there. In the shorter term, the other trend line I'm definitely looking at is this right here. And we'll see if that's where we reach a little bit of resistance. So your ideal situation is going to be to take the call entry at the break and hold of this trend line here. All right, so I'm going to draw that on. I will pop it green, and we will keep an eye on this area right here as the market opens. And I think this area within this triangle is a little bit risky for calls, at least until a little bit further into the day. Once the first hour is established, first 90 minutes is established, you can take some entries above our pre-market high with a hold up to this trend line. But right away, it's such a quick, it's only like 30 to 50 cents, depending on how quick you test this trend line. So we want to see that break out of that trend line and then fill our area in between both trend channels. That's what we're looking for. Let's zoom out and look at a couple weeks of this chart, and we'll go from there. We'll pop on over to those, this line I'm not worried about anymore. We're going to delete this as well. I don't think we have other lines to hit before we even think about that. So on the bearish side, if and when we fill that gap at the loss of that. So again, I like that put entry right around, let's say 402.71, but with a break and a hold loss of that trend, not immediately. We want to see that hold below there. Yesterday, we waited till that third push below our entry to watch that break and hold, and we only got 30% out of that trade, even though it was 0 DTEs. The IV and the Greeks were absolutely not on our side. It was a trash trade. It was a great trade. It was a trash profitability for the risk exposure we took on our SPY puts. We need to be very aware and very careful when it comes to that. So the break and the hold below our 402.75, I'd say, and I want to see a hold. I want to see a 5-minute candle close below that, and then let's fill that gap. Once we fill the gap, if we start breaking into yesterday's wick highs, next line we're looking at is $400.40, and then we've got our levels below that already drawn. Next one would be this low a day from yesterday. So those are our three levels on the downside, are $398.75, $400.40, and then again that loss of 402.75 with a hold for those bearish entries. On the uptrend, we want to break this little uptrend, this little resistance point we've had. We could actually extend this line, and it's applicable all the way down into yesterday. Want to see a break and a hold of that trend line. 4 call entries. All right, so that's what we got on the SPY here. And then again, if we start ripping into this upper trend line and breaking over it, then we need to consider some longer term support and resistance points. Then we're starting to get up into our, 406.22. And then after that, we're all the way up in the 416. We have a clear path up to 410, in my opinion, after that. So that's what we're looking at. PAC-W, we did get some calls on PAC-W overnight. This wedge. Honestly, I would watch this for a momentum play too. We're up about 4%, but we know this can absolutely rip. So let's look at this on the 5-minute chart, and a break and a hold over, say, 1040 could be a really great entry for this one. This is the area I'm kind of watching here, and this is our wedge breakout. We have not retested. So if we start selling off into market open because we haven't retested that wedge, let's watch for retest this trend line, and the pickup of support there is a fantastic bullish entry. So if we come down and we do test this, just draw a couple lines. You could put it on the daily, the 4-hour, anything, and you're going to see this trend line right here. Watch for that bounce off of that trend line there, and that bullish support pickup is actually a really great bullish entry on these. So that's when I wanted to hit really quick. And now let's go to the top runners of the day. We've got APLM, which has hit some higher highs. We're up to $23 now. This is one that ripped, I think, about 100% in 1 minute. That might have been another. I think that was SCYX actually. But this one is in a little bit of an ascending wedge. Probably a pretty much a flat upper trend though. I wouldn't say it's too ascending. These aren't necessarily higher lows throughout or higher highs throughout. So at this point in here, I want to see that breaking that hold at $21 with some nice volume coming into pre-market. Let me check our volume. Pre-market, we had what, 6K, nothing substantial. So I mean, honestly, I want to see 50K our first 5 minutes to feel like we're getting the type of volume we need to see in order to get a meaningful push on this. Let me check we always want to know what our float is. 10 million, pretty small float. That's a very small float. So this one, if we do get some nice momentum with a strong bullish push over $21, that's where I like. Or again, just following on up this trend line here through the day. Watching that trend line is pretty important. A loss of trend here, we would want to see a pickup and a break back up into that trend. But overall, I'm simply looking at this area here for our entry. And then I'm going to delete this other ones. There we go. SCYX was the one with the 100% candle pre-market. 1 minute candle absolutely ripped. We are selling off now. What I'm looking at straight up is our retracement here. And we gapped up before we even opened up. It was halted with news, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it didn't open until 6:30. So I'm not even going to start our retracement from there. I'm starting from where we opened up. Let's pop this on here. Let's put that golden fibs up. That's pretty much the only level I'm looking at now until it can prove something meaningful, because it did get a couple secondary pushes out of that impulsive push. I did play this a little bit in the Discord for some nice profits, and it is on our watch list, but this is our area we're watching. We know we put our golden fibs yellow like gold. That's the area I'm watching. Or because it's a little bit janky. It's not the perfect golden fibs, this and that. Are you going to draw from before the gap up? Or are you going to draw from the beginning of the gap right when it opened up? You know, a little perspective there on what people prefer. But so I would also say that you could take your riskier entry is going to be above 305. All right. With that 305, you could expect to push to 325, which is about 6 or 7%. So I'll give 305 as an entry, even if we don't come down. If we break over that 305 area, we could take a nice entry there. If we get the volume in the second level time and sales setting up, that looks nice, which I will, of course, be watching those as market opens, which is happening to my time and sales here. Oh, hold on, guys. I got to add this widget. Anyway, oh my gosh, there we go. All right, pull this down. There we go. Sorry, I have to have my time in sales. Anyway, so that's what we're watching is look at over that 305 type area for a push to 330, 325 to 330. And after that, we've got our wick high areas of 361 and 386. That's what we're looking at. It is market open. It took a little longer today, so let's watch these charts. We got through a couple APLM. Let's see what happens here. We've got that $21 entry. We've got SCYX, which isn't doing much ado about nothing at this point. So I'm going to pop on a couple more and see if we could pick up a little scalp entry. We didn't get through as many charts as I wanted to. Box D. This is every day. This is a watch lately. I mean, that's the reality of Box D. We do have some really strong support right here. So I would say I like it above 21 cents. If we get some nice volume coming into market open. Over 21 cents. And I do think we get test 22 and a half cents. Right around there if we get some volume coming in these first couple minutes. I'm actually going to pull this up. I don't like this first candle. So let's say 0.2125. Pull it up a quarter of a penny just to make sure. All right, so we're halted off the bounce on APLM. I am not surprised because of the smaller float on this one. So keep that top watch on this one at that $20 level to $21 level. That's exactly what we're looking at. This VHC here, what's this first candle volume? 32K, 8K, nothing I like to see. We need to get some more volume in here, and we need to break over 235. We do need more volume. Our box D is attempting to have a little nice engulfing candle push right here. So we'll see what happens over the next minute or so. I'm not going to pull down our entry because, like I said, when we've got these exhaustion type candles, we do want to see a little bit of a pullback before that push, which we did not get. We went right into our entry at our 21 cents. So there we go. If you had your 21-cent set, you're already up about 5% immediately right there on that candle. Got to be very careful though. These are exhaustion candles. And it's never a bad idea to scale out of at least half your position at this point, because this is going to come down. And what we want to see is it come down less than 2/3 of this candle. Why? I'm not going to tell you. Come to Discord. I'll let you know why. So we want to see it stay above our entry at this point, to be honest. At 21 cents, we'll pull it down to 21 cents. That's where we'd love to see it stay above, and then a secondary push. That was quite the candle there. That was a 9% candle. So just something to watch. And again, APLM is halted. And VHC is trading sideways with no volume. So let's go to our SPY. See what it's doing. It's got a lot of indecision going on right now. Lots of wick. Lot of wick action, baby. Let's see what happens over the next couple minutes here. Again, I don't really want to take anything until we break over that trend line here. That's kind of what I'm watching. Let's see if anything else is starting to form that's striking my fancy. We do have a little bit of a uptrend, low trend support right here as well. So we'll just pop that on just for shits and giggles. Pack W, exactly what I expected. I hope some of you guys locked up those profits on that Pack W, which I'm not sure. Yeah, we're right around break even at this point. We're at 74 cents. So it did hit some targets right at market open there. If anyone had sells set. But I do think this can push back up some, guys, to be honest. So we'll wait and see here. Again, please protect yourself. I can't update targets in the Discord. We hit 74 cents on that trade. So that's about, 70 cents on the 5-cent increments, which is at least 2 targets, 20% about on that. So please protect yourself on that one. Do not allow yourself to go deep red. Let's go back to our SPY. All right, we're going to trade sideways again. We could be very, very consolidated. Theta Thursday is named for a reason. I want to look at Netflix as well because that had a very bullish pre-market. So these are a couple of major support and resistance lines we've been playing over the last few weeks here. See what these next couple candles do versus the SPY. I'm just going to pop a couple lines on here so we can watch it. I'd prefer to do some option trades. Still halted. We are right at our golden fibs, right? We've sold off right to that golden fibs. All right, so I like our entry above 275 on SCYX. I'm looking 275 for an entry. That's my entry, 275. Let's pop that line green. There we go. VHC has not hit entry. And box D is pushing back up. There we go. And would you look at where we bounced to the penny? To the penny at the bottom of our box. That tells you we're going to get some continuation here because we did not pull back further than 2/3 of a candle. And that's exactly what happened. Now we're up about 10% on the trade overall. Almost 10%. About 9% at this point. It bounced exactly where we wanted to see it bounce. So you can feel secure about your entry. There's our entry on SCYX. As well, here at 275, be very, very cautious on this one. This one's got a lot of volatility to it. And we are not open yet on APLM. I will keep my eye on that chart. I'm going to actually pop it on here so I can see it when it unhalts immediately. I can see it right there while we watch our SPY sell off a little bit. Not surprised in that one. Not surprised on that one. What else we got? Google's down 1%. I did hold some puts on Google overnight. I'll update those as well in the Discord. I held my puts. I did update. I was going to hold those. Walmart's one I'm waiting for some put positions on. It's not there yet. And we're still halted. I guess we'll watch the SPY with its theta eating sideways trading here. I mean, I'm not going to take anything in this area here. We're not touching anything in this area. That's a no zone. Do not touch. So we're just I'm taking it very easy today, to be honest. Yesterday was a very, very sideways trading day with barely any action at all. So it's been very, very tough to trade it. I mean, we made some really nice trades. We got Coinbase for 100%. We had Tesla for like 35%, a couple SPY. We also had a couple losers as well. We just couldn't hit those targets because of that theta sideways 1.5 action, and it's acting the same way today. I'm going to look at a couple more of these stocks. MU is one I'm definitely interested in due to it have earnings a couple days ago. It gives it extra volatility. We like to see. Let me pop on this 15-minute chart. Identify a couple levels on this one as well. And then INTC is another one. It's been absolutely on a tear for a few weeks here, and it's still going up 2%. Just ripped right off the bat. Again, up another 2% after a 6% day yesterday. It just keeps going and going and going. We had this level pre-drawn out from last Friday for calls. If anyone takes those levels, we've been drawing out on Charts and Chill Fridays. Congratulations. All those trades have really, really worked out. We're still halted here, and we've got sideways action on the SPY. We are bouncing off our trend line that I had just drawn and identified, but I'm not taking any sort of a play at this area here. I'm just simply not. All right. All right. So we are still kind of hanging out just at that entry here, up just a couple percent, if that. VHS is selling off. BoxD hit as high as 2.2375. So that's well over 10%, about 12% on that trade. And what is MULN doing? Ooh, MULN is actually coming down here. I did want to chart this one today for you guys. I'll check the 15-minute on this one, though. All right, this is strong resistance support line here. So I'll bounce in this area that we're sitting at right about here. And then a push back up over 0.123 would be my entry right about here. Anything on this downtrend, I'm not really touching at this point. Also, we do have this little bit of a trend line setup we're watching as well. So if we do pick up support in this area, we could get a nice little push up to, up about to about 13 cents, and then see after that what kind of scalp we get. But at this point, we realistically could sell off and come all the way down to, 11.4, even as low as, 10.5. So we need to watch those areas here. That's the main areas I'm watching. This is quite the impulsive sell-off candle here on the 5-minute. So at this point here, we need to see it break back up over and a hold over 12 cents, and then a continuation after that. Much ado about nothing. I'm not taking puts in this area here. So we're just going to watch a little bit. I do want to pull up a couple we've been trading pretty well lately. That's Coin is one of them. Going. We'll check all three. ABA looks like it's ripe for a continuation. As a matter of fact, we had another gap up overnight. This one is beautiful. Little frustrating. We had some swing calls on this. So we got stopped out by about 2 pennies before it absolutely ripped for multiple days in a row. This was a really perfect setup, though. One thing about this BABA, it did have news, but it also bounced perfectly off golden fibs on the long-term trend. So that's another thing that I really do like about this one. This one could have a strong rip into the rest of the day here. I'm going to watch what it does at this high a day over the next couple candles. And Boeing as well. I'm going to watch this zone here. I do want to see how the level book looks and the volume IV. Let's look at the 5-minute here. A little curl down action. Resistance hit here. And got a little bit of support on the bottom here. All right, so we have a little channel going on BABA, or Boeing, excuse me. And finally, Coinbase, which I do have a swing spread on right now. Should be pretty profitable on that. We're absolutely ripping. I'm not chasing in on this candle. I am going to, let's check our spread though on this one. Actually, since we don't have any active trades right now, let's just pop over to the Discord now so we can work through some of these swing trades as well. There's simply nothing on these trades right now. So APLM, if you got a fill, if you took a fill, I mean, we're up to 25.90 now. Not necessarily surprised on that. A lot of people probably did not get a fill at $21, unfortunately, unless you took it at market open based off our levels. And I'm going to head over to the Discord a minute early today simply because we're not in active trades. That way we can set up for some active trading over there. If you are not part of our Discord, right here, discord.gg/pennyboys, DM myself, Amajama, or OG Nikki. Please protect your profits on all the swings. Again, we have swings on coin. We have a swing going on PACW. Take some profits, lock your profits, guys. And we've got those, we had the Google puts. So please take some profits on that. I'll see you guys over there.